So from your experience that you've had, yeah. So how much was the pay in a ballpark figure? You don't have to say the amount, obviously, because we don't want to get into your details. But
well, in financial sector, for junior BAs, what I've seen is it starts maybe.
So, welcome everybody to the Driven Podcast. I'm here today with my wife, and that's Philippa Gualan. Now to be Clarke.
Philippa Clarke.
Okay, and we just wanted to do a podcast where we go through some of the stuff we went through previously, see any updates, and just make sure we're able to get the best out of you. So, how have you been?
Good.
According to everybody else that's already listened to the podcast before. Prior to this, we weren't married.
Okay.
How was the wedding?
It was nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lots of memories. Those are things that you're gonna carry forward.
Yeah.
Any plans?
After the wedding? Between us? Children. We want to have children. That's the next step.
Yeah, okay. And and we just a round of applause for us. So it's been a long time coming. I know you've wanted that for a while.
I have for 5 years. We've been together for over 5 years. My timeline was 2.
I'll let you tell it or I edit this out. Yep, so that's cool. Also, prior to this, when we interviewed you before, you hadn't started your other business.
Okay.
So please explain what your business is.
My business. So I have a school called Business Analyst School. I train aspiring and newbie business analysts to become business analysts. And we have a membership space where you can sign up for membership, pay a monthly fee, and have access to various resources such as business analysis courses, resources, I already said resources, templates, and we also have a monthly live coaching session with me. So that's what the membership offers. Apart from the membership, we also do a boot camp. We have 3 every year, but that's aside the membership. So that's what the Business Analyst School does. I also do YouTube videos weekly.
Where is it? What is it called?
Pippa G.
Okay.
PIPPAG.
See, plug. So that's taken some time to get you off the ground as well.
Yeah, it's been really good. We're a year and how many months now? 7? A year and 7 months old. And the business has done really well in helping people to secure roles as business analysts. So, yeah, doing well.
See, so from the last podcast, I said that my missus is a hustler. You're still hustling, yeah? You're still going for it, still doing your thing.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's not a bad thing. It's something that, obviously, we talked about last time that we see, especially with people who are immigrated into the system over here. I know, obviously, from my grandparents, that was the case. You being of that new generation of immigration. It rhymes. Don't hate me. It rhymes. But yeah. So, but you're of that new generation of immigration that comes over, and then you work hard. You make something of yourself. You push, and then you get what you want out of life. Yeah. So that was from the last podcast to this podcast. So there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot going on. From where I was before, I was living in Birmingham. I'm now here in Kent. We're married. We're moving on. We're getting things done. trying to move things forward in different ways. And the podcast is still here. So congratulations to me for lasting this long.
How long have you been?
2020, I think was my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's been 3 years, yeah.
Good. Well done.
So yeah, so that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna start kicking off with a bunch of questions for you now. Stuff that obviously I already know, but it's for you guys to know, so that obviously we can try and get our motivations up, trying to get people to be more inspired and get people out there doing the things and becoming the things they want to become, earn more money, just get self-organized. So these are the things that obviously for myself it's more about the internal things in regards to making sure you're motivated, making sure you're planning and strategic and all those things. So those are the things I mainly go for, but at the same time people like yourself and other people who have businesses, they're actually going out there and reaping the rewards in other ways. So as I'm going down this, I am going to look at my questions. And I can do this. See, this is the difference between doing a YouTube thing and doing a podcast. A podcast is more live, it's more straightforward.
Okay.
So you've got the questions there, I've got the questions there. It's all good. Anyway, in your YouTube channel, you discussed the role of a business analyst. What impact do you hope to make through the educational platform, and how has the response been from your audience?
Impacts. So I started business analyst school, like I mentioned, to help newbie business analysts and aspiring business analysts to really understand what business analysis in real life entails. And I started it because a lot of the courses out there on business analysis don't really go into the real life of what we actually do in the office as business analysts. It mainly covers the theoretical aspect of things. So what I want to do is help people really who want to transition into business analysis, whether they're newbies, whether they're transitioning from related career paths. And I started that because when I was a newbie business analyst, there wasn't a lot of resources out there. There were, but I still had the questions about what exactly should I be expecting in real life, apart from just reading the books and having theoretical knowledge. So with Business Analyst School, I hope that that I'm able to help people really to move into this career path, especially because it's one of those career paths where you don't need to have a degree. You need certain soft skills like communication, empathy, good listening skills, right? And these are soft skills that are easy to transition from other non-relating roles. So I hope to help people to really transition into the role and earn good salaries from it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you asked how has been the response
From your audience.
my audience?
Yeah.
It's been good. People are always commenting on my YouTube videos, and I get a lot of members through my YouTube channel as well. I always have good feedback. Yeah, it's been good response. Yeah, generally.
Good stuff. So, reflecting on your experiences, are there specific skills and qualities you believe are crucial for some people or someone pursuing a career as a business analyst? I know you've already mentioned, but it'd be good to go through.
Yeah, the key skill is your soft skills, right? The key soft skills: communication, listening, what else? Empathy. All those soft skills that you need to be able to communicate with people, both verbally, written, right? Other skills include, obviously, the business analysis knowledge. So you want to know what business analysis is about, what we do, and you also want to have domain knowledge. So those are the three things: communication, domain knowledge and business analysis knowledge. And when I say domain knowledge, I mean specific industries that you need to sort of understand how their processes work. It will help you to be able to transition easily when you start to apply and become a business analyst, really.
Okay. So, and another question on that. So, I'm a business analyst. So, what skills did you see in me that you thought, okay, these will be easily transferable over as a business analyst?
In you?
Yeah, because obviously I was in a different industry. Yeah, so what kind of, like, this is just like, so it's more people could understand and say, in actual fact, I'm in this role, so I could actually do this. Or
Yeah. I think with you, you have good communication skills, and you also have good interactive skills, stakeholder interactive skills. You're able to hold conversations. So you already have the soft skills. And I feel that you're a quick learner as well. So even though you didn't have business analysis knowledge or office related knowledge, I knew that it would be very easy for you to transition. So you don't really need to have the under knowledge. It's just about preparation, and I knew that with preparation you'll be able to do it, because that's where I was as well at the beginning. So I always say, even on my YouTube videos, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I think for me, seeing that, like, you can't have a fixed mindset.
Yes.
You have to have you have to be very flexible in your mindset. Your mindset has to be able to adapt. You have to be able to take on things quickly, go on that path of learning. Yes. Really, truly, because if you're not going to be that, like, even now I'm still learning stuff every day. I'm taking tests and stuff like that, but I'm learning stuff every day to complement the skills I already have so that I'm able to do the job. So I think mindset is a very big thing, which obviously I'm into a lot anyway, so all good.
Growth
Okay,
mindset.
so as a BA, you can see my list of going down here. I've got 3 questions. Yeah. Which industry has the highest paid jobs as a BA?
As a BA, though, or that I have had, or just generally?
As a BA.
I wouldn't say there's a specific one, to be honest, because at the end of the day, as much as there's the industry that pay higher, it also depends on the company, right? But in my experience, I think the financial sector pays really well. Financial sector, such as insurance, banking sector, those areas tend to pay well. But again, it still depends. Depends on the company, depends on the experience. I think those are the areas in my experience.
So what about, from your experience that you've had, so how much was the pay in a ballpark figure? You don't have to say the amount, obviously, because we don't want to get into your details, but
in financial sector, for junior BAs, what I've seen is it starts maybe 30. That is really low, but let's say 40k. Average salary for business analysts is really 45k-ish, but you will still find some companies paying less than that, depending on the experience that you bring. And
the organization or the area sector that you go into.
Yeah, the sector, the industry, yeah. And in financial sector, I would say between 45 to 100. Maybe even more. I saw one for 110 today. Yeah. So it depends on how many years of experience you have. But that's the figure. That's the range.
So is that the highest range one you've seen, like 100?
Yeah, the highest range one I've seen is like 100 and something, 110, 115. But that's for permanent roles or fixed term contracts. But for contracting, like within IR35 or outside, you can get up to 600, 650
really
per day. Maybe even more, depending again on the area of focus that you are in business analysis. Yeah, So sometimes they need specific skills
Yeah.
or specific system experience. They tend to pay very high when it comes to contract roles around this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen a job for about 200K.
Business analyst.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I never applied for that.
Permanent?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was when I first got my job. Around that time.
I've never seen more than 100 and something. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen
Wow,
200.
200, that's good though.
Obviously, they must require you certain things of you.
Certain
to do that.
things, yeah. Certain special system skills and experience.
Okay. So in the industry, working as a business analyst, okay, have you experienced and have you dealt with any kind of racism, sexisms, any kind of isms that have kind of like tried to hold you back or has affected you in a certain way?
I wouldn't say sexism. I wouldn't say that. But in this industry, especially in IT, it's mainly male dominated. So it's hard to find women in this area of work. Not just business analysts, in IT generally. But I wouldn't say it's sexism. I think men just tend to go towards those sort of careers than women. But then when, as a woman, I find myself in this environment and I feel very intimidated because the men are very outspoken and they have certain type of body language, right? But yeah, I wouldn't say it's sexism.
So what, don't they try and look after you a bit more if that's the case?
Yes, actually, they're like daddies in the office, uncles. It's really nice. It has its positives. But again, as someone striving to reach higher places in your career, you don't want to come across as a baby girl. You know, you want to come across as very professional and on the same level as them as well. So it's about like using both to your advantage as a woman. That's what I do anyway.
Okay. So I mean, one person I can think of that's gone high is like my head of IT that I work for. Hi, if you ever watch this, hello. But basically, like, she's made it, and she really gave me some good advice, which was basically, if you don't know it, still go for it and try and do it, yeah, and learn along the way. Yeah. And she goes, learn as much as you can, even if it's not in your field. Learn. If they've put you in front of something, learn it. And even if you don't need it in the future, at least then it's something to reference back to in the future. So and that's because, and I imagine she's the head of IT, which is a hard place for her to be as a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I haven't actually seen any women that are head of, really.
Yeah.
I can't think of any women I've worked with that are head of IT.
No,
You can see like head of HR. There's more feminine roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is with her, she's very knowledgeable, and she knows her stuff, and she's always got her ear to the ground, listening for upcoming things, upcoming technologies, things that may help the organization move forward in different ways. So she's always got her ear to the ground, listening, and she's always learning. And then she's always reflecting with everybody. If there's anybody that she can see to help, she'll come over and say, in actual fact, what you're doing, is everything okay? And she'll try and offer help.
That's nice.
But a lot of times I think some of the guys kind of say, let's move it to one side so we don't get we not in a negative, but they want to do things to make sure she doesn't have to do things.
Okay, because she likes to do things herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, let's get her to one side. We don't need her in this. We need to present this to her rather than get her involved. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a good balance of it all. Okay. So as we're going along and we're talking about all this stuff, about your, like, how personal it was as an IT, going into IT as your journey. I mean, where did it start? How did you start to go into IT, that area first? You know, what made you go into being a business analyst?
What made me go into it? Nothing, you know. So I was initially working in retail on the shop floor, and I'd never heard of business analysis. I was doing my degree in psychology, and I had maybe 6 months to go. So I was looking forward to continuing and possibly becoming a psychologist. But then I still wasn't sure where exactly I wanted to head in my career. But I've always been a career person. So I stumbled upon business analysis. Someone presented me the course to take, and I've always been somebody of who has growth mindsets, and I'm always curious as well. I like to try new things. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, hey ho, try something else. So I was like, this business analysis, IT, I have no clue what I'm doing in IT, but I went for the course anyway. It was a weekend course, Friday to Sunday, I think, if I remember clearly. And I was at the back of the class because I didn't know what I was doing there in the first place. But after the course, the mentors would push us to start applying for jobs, do our CVs, prepare for interviews. So I was like, okay, let me just do that as well. And just before I graduated, 2 months before I graduated, I became a business analyst. I got my first role. And that's it from there. That's it from there. I never looked back. I never went back to psychology, really. Yeah.
So do you find it difficult sometimes, or is it always, because you've been in it for how long now?
Almost 10 years.
So do you still find it difficult sometimes?
I wouldn't say difficult. I'll say challenging. Yeah, it can be challenging, especially when you're in new environments, new projects, new systems. But the key is knowing the business analysis approach, knowing the project life cycle will then help you determine what am I doing next, and then also learning those new environments and those new systems. It can be quite challenging because there are expectations with regard to timeline, expectations with stakeholder management. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right. I mean, looking at how you've gone into being a business analyst as well, obviously this, like, once again, I'm coming back to where I ask about people being, obviously you've come from Nigeria and like you've actually made yourself a success. So, I mean, if I'm looking at it, what was your motivation to make you push and press to continue to become this as a business analyst, to earn more money, to get, because I know there's somebody I know who's got say an ex-girlfriend, and she's not the kind of person to go out and get what she wants to earn more money, to get past her stuff where she's struggling with, whereas you, on the other hand, you've had a lot of struggles and things like that. So what's kind of pushed you and motivated you to want to go and do that?
I guess, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on life. I don't want to miss out on comfort, being comfortable. And there are also influences from my childhood, the way I grew up with my grandma. She's always like wanted us to be successful. I also had examples of my big cousins, my big female cousins who were doing so well, and I had those women as inspiration for me to look towards, right? And I just didn't want to let my grandma down, to be honest. And as I continued in that path, it started to then be for me rather than for my grandma or for the family. It was then for me. And then when I had Tyler, I was like, you have to make things work. You have to be comfortable. So you answered the question, but
you answered that, like, because obviously it was that drive, isn't it, that pushed you. So you're saying it's your grandma, then it's turned out to be you. But like, as you've mentioned, you've also got Tyler, and like, obviously you've kind of like struggled through certain things. So it's about really the struggle that you faced as well. So if you could name some of the struggles, you don't have to name everything. Obviously, it's your personal thing, but like some of the struggles you went through and how you overcame them to still become who you are today.
Okay. Where do I start from?
Wherever you want.
Okay, so like I said, I've always had like a plan of I always have a time frame for everything when I want to complete certain stages of my life, e.g. marriage. But and when I find that things aren't working the way that I want them to, I try to sit down and replan. So what happened with me, some of my experiences, like you wanted me to talk about, right?
Yeah.
University, I literally had 2 more years to finish my degree, and I got pregnant, and it just felt like my whole plan, my career, my future was destroyed. The family were disappointed, right? But I always knew that I would come out of it. I never doubted. I never doubted it. So we were on benefits for a while. At one point we were homeless, but I knew that I would go back to university. I finished my degree. I always like to finish what I start. So otherwise I would keep thinking, what if I had known, those sort of things. I don't want to question it. Even if it doesn't work out eventually, I know that at least I've tried it.
Yeah.
You know? So I knew that I was going to go back to university, finish my university, raising the child on my own, obviously with the help of my siblings. They've been very helpful. And what else? Just being on benefits for years, and just struggling with money, all those things, and finding ways to get back into my plan of becoming a career woman. Right, because I felt like career was the way for me to make money and find that comfortable space in my life, so that my son and I will be fine and comfortable, really. And at the same time, I still wanted to prove certain people wrong, you know, after failing, you know, dropping out of university, getting pregnant, and becoming a disappointment really for the family. But I wanted to prove them wrong, that I wouldn't just sit where I am and just live off benefits for the rest of my life. So having people looking as well, people watching, right, whether knowingly or unknowingly, is always at the back of my head, that you have to prove them wrong.
It's true, you know. It's so true. Because I've got, in the back of my head, there's a few people I think of, and I think, you know what, I have to do certain things, and even though it's wrong, it's to appease myself that I'm proving them wrong. You know, I know it's wrong, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, well, like, you're gonna see me.
Because like in some way you feel like I shouldn't be living for these people.
No.
But on another hand, it's for yourself as well. Right?
Yeah.
It's for yourself. It's not that I was living for them, but at the same time I was like, I'm going to prove them wrong, because I know that I'm going to be great.
Yeah.
But being great eventually is still for me at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I think the same. I really do. It's not, I don't feel like it's the best sometimes, because it makes me, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like I say to myself that revenge will be my success. My success will be the revenge, sorry. So therefore, like, instead of getting revenge for certain things, for certain people, whether I was like 5 years old or whether I was like the other day, is I have to just be successful. And so that's been one of two of my like key drivers.
Yeah, there's so many drivers though. Children, your future, your legacy.
Yeah. You know, I love those words anyway. But yeah, okay. So what advice would you give to an aspiring business analyst who've seen some of the things that you've seen, and they want to, like, they feel like they need to push forwards and like overcome certain obstacles so they can get that success in their lives?
Yeah. I think the first thing is to explore, is to understand first what is business analysis. How do you do that? By getting the knowledge, just even if it's the most basic knowledge, try to understand what we do, That's if you're really interested in it. And even if you're not sure, it's always good to get some sort of knowledge, some sort of understanding of what the role involves. And if you feel that you can't do it, because that's how I felt too. I felt like this is not what I'm gonna be doing. If you feel like you can't do it, take a sit back. Once you've identified the key skills, the key techniques that we need, sit down and do a personal SWOT analysis. Try to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats, right? And then on those weaknesses and threats, see how you can make them your strengths and opportunities, right? For instance, if you feel that you lack good communication skills, maybe you're not assertive, maybe you're more reserved, you feel intimidated by people that are in higher roles. Try to explore, find courses that teach soft skills. Find yourself do some webinars, join webinars, go to networking events, look for inspirational people on LinkedIn, people that are business analysts. Reach out to them and ask for pointers and advice. And final thing, be persistent. Sometimes you find momentum in your progress with regards to your goals. If you take a sit back and relax, or you feel deflated because things aren't working out for you, then you will lose that momentum. So I think just be persistent and keep going. Maybe find a mentor as well. And finally, with everything in life, if you don't spend money on things, you don't value it. If you get everything for free, if you get free business analysis advice, if you get free business analysis courses, you won't take it as seriously because it didn't cost you that much money. So try to invest in your education, right? I don't know how you find the money, but find a way to pay for courses and stick through those courses. Take it seriously. If that's really, really what you want to do, you will find the time, you find the money, you find the effort, and just be persistent and don't give up.
It's like one of our previous mentors used to say, you have to put skin in the game.
What does that mean?
It means like you have to. It's like for you to have value. It's almost like cutting off your own finger as a price. And say, you know what, this is the price I have to pay in order to get this. You're not going to let it go to waste.
You won't let it go to waste because you've put in too much.
You're putting too much.
Yeah.
Imagine every day you look at your finger, it's gone. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have to.
It means a little bit different than that, but that's another example I'm giving just to make it more relevant. But yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So we're coming up to Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Coming up to Christmas. And we have a lot going on for yourself. Obviously, you're still doing your business, you're still working, you still got family things to do and all of that. For you to take a time out and say, okay, what kind of Christmas stuff do you like? Do you like books? Do you like movies? Do you like songs? What kind of things do you like to uplift yourself so you can incorporate them into your festivities? Do you enjoy Christmas, stuff like that?
Yeah.
I know your answer, but I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Christmas is my favorite holiday or celebration or whatever it's called, but my favorite time of year. So what was the question?
What kind of things do you do? Do you like singing, the songs, the movies? What are your favorite movies? If there's a book,
do I remember?
You need to remember
movie names.
I remember my movies. Well, most of this podcast is based around movies anyway as well, so it's okay. But
no, there's no particular movie. I like holiday movies on Netflix. I just find whichever, as long as it's Christmas related.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
You have some of those really cheesy Hallmark ones that are not so great.
I really can't.
But you have some really good ones that I enjoy. But I'm not the type of person who remember movie names.
Okay, so when you were younger, were there any movies that you just like, oh my gosh, Christmas movie, this is it?
It's Home Alone now. Everybody's
movie. Of course,
movie.
Yay.
Everybody's movie. Home Alone, The Grinch. Not Elf. I was going to say Elf, but that's your thing.
That's me.
Yeah, there isn't. Oh, we used to watch The Sound of Music. I know that's not Christmas, but it's family time, so we tend to watch The Sound of Music when I was younger, or The Lion King around Christmas, even though it's not Christmas. Yeah, we used to do that. And songs. I love Christmas songs, all Christmas songs.
Okay.
I don't have a favorite one. But mainly the church ones, like Gloria. Oh, that one. I like The Drummer Boy. I like is it called The Drummer Boy?
The Little Drummer Boy.
The Little Drummer Boy. I like Silent Night. I like Noel. There's so many that I love Christmas songs.
Good. So we're getting to the end of the podcast. So the end of year is often a time of reflection. How do you look back on your year, both personally and professionally, and what are you grateful for?
There's so many questions in that one.
Yeah, so I've asked you pretty much two.
Two?
Yeah.
How do I look back on the year?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I sit down and specifically look back on the year. But what I do is I try to reflect and try to sort of think about how the start of the year was, the plans that I had at the start of the year, that some of them didn't go the way that I wanted to, and some of them went the way that I wanted to. It just puts me in a place of gratitude for the year, really. Whether certain things didn't go the way and whether certain things went the way, I'm still grateful for those positives. And for the negatives, I'm happy to learn from them, grow from them, and replan. Right? So that's how I look back on the year. I also look at pictures. It's good to take pictures and videos and just watch them back. It places me in the space of gratitude. Yeah.
And what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for a lot of things.
For this year?
So many things.
So just say for this year, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful that we got married.
Yeah.
Finally.
Look, the ring. Ping.
I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for Tyler. Always grateful for Tyler. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for life. A lot of times, I'm grateful for water. Honestly, that's the littlest things I'm grateful for. Grateful for the birds, the sound of the birds outside. Grateful for the sunshine, the rain, the snow. Grateful for everything, to be honest. But the key things is mainly grateful for family and having people around me that I can spend this Christmas with, this joyous moment with.
Yay. Okay, so that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for joining us. Please, where can people find you again?
Pippa G at Pippa G on YouTube. That's it, really.
Okay, and that's it. Peace.